تشكر.
And how our site, which is located right in a very important place, which has
ببخشي
like the
Adejan Khan,
access.
Adejan, ببخشي. Can you
Yes.
just quickly, very quickly, summarize your beginning because it wasn't recorded. Just start right away and give us a synopsis of what was the intention behind this and why you're doing it. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So as you can see, this is the master plan of Kabul city, which was called the City of Gardens by Babur himself, as it was like very green and agriculture before. This master plan is to show the location of BAGH-E-BABUR garden inside the city and where it's located and how it's um, how the other recreational areas like the other gardens or facilities are located and how we can connect them if possible or if needed. So as you can see, BAGH-E-BABUR Garden is located in a very strategic position close to many other very important historical and places. And also it's very close to where the Parmon River meets the Kabul River. And uh, this master plan, I wanted to show how our site, which is located like right beside the Kabul River, can function to bring to connect other places or to function, because our purpose is to give more information not about only BAGH-E-BABUR garden but also other places, historical places, recreational places, touristic places in Kabul. So how is that place connected to the other places like the Dorlamon Palace or the Bagabala or the for example, Zarnagar Park or the Kabul Zoo, which is very closely related, like a walking distance uh, from there. And also to make the city like what it was called before, like the city of gardens, a walkable city, pedestrian-friendly city. Maybe we can use it to connect to the Parman River so people can have a walk through, like from the garden, BAGH-E-BABUR garden, as they move on, and have like a pleasant walking experience alongside the Parman River. And then the walking can go as far as they can, like they can continue with to go to the Bagabala, for example. So these green corridors so our site can function as a good opportunity to facilitate these green corridors and walking spaces and um, and pleasant um, pleasant recreational activities and yeah. If you can.
Can we make some comments, Yaldaja?
Yeah, Hadia.
Hadia.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Okay. Just quickly, first of all, thank you for this beautiful graphics. It's really it really shines in a sense that the way you explained the importance of BAGH-E-BABUR, and also you indicated some of the notable places in Kabul area within you call it a walking distance. I'm not sure if it is a walking distance, but it could be. One thing that you might say in your argument, which makes sense, if we're going to create this BAGH-E-BABUR Visitor Center, could be a place of visitors to get in a bus or something that they tour of the city and these notable places that he talked about, which are really important. And I really appreciate what you have done here graphically. And we have been talking about this from the day one that we started the classes, that graphics are really important. And this is really a wonderful opportunity for everyone. So when you talk about a place, how it related to the outside of the site, now you so beautifully and eloquently that you explained it, and I understand that. Thank you for that. Anyone else?
Thank you.
I can just add a little bit to what you said,
Sure.
Mehdi. Absolutely, I agree. This is an amazing uh, uh, you know, map of Kabul city and how the important uh, you know elements of the city. Kichara Kaminja explained to that, and I didn't know about this. Kabul was called the city of gardens, and that's interesting. That's something I learned right now. So what I see here is that BAGH-E-BABUR is located in the heart of the city. And there's a river, there are other communities. Now, how could we kind of make BAGH-E-BABUR kind of be a connecting uh, uh, kind of axial connection to all these other areas in the Kabul and the gardens and other gardens kind of relate, kind of let this kind of bleed into the city and become the city of gardens, as Kabul was called, as you just said. That's it, but beautifully done,
Yeah.
John. Very
Other John, there's another opportunity that you have in your discussion is the fact that because BAGH-E-BABUR is so connected to the river, which is the beautiful river, and unfortunately is probably polluted right now in the city. But wouldn't it be possible in your projection, say, from the visitor center, people can jump onto the little kayaks or the little boats that they can literally go through the city and explore the city through the river. So this is part of your discussion should be when we talk about beyond the site itself is, and you have already started, which is really wonderful. I'm really proud of your analysis. Now, the other thing is that this kind of analysis should be right before the design concept, which you did pretty well. And even though that he came late at the class, but you have produced incredible work, and I'm really happy to see this. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, the idea of little boats is so cool. Like, I just imagined Kabul being like that, and it would completely change we see the city. Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely, Adijan. This is not just an idea. Other cities, when they have little canals, like in Amsterdam, they
Yeah.
have tons of canals. People sit on a boat and take the tour of the city to understand the city from a lowest point, to look up into the city rather than driving their cars or walk. So it's a good opportunity to think about. Thanks.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
Let me add.
sure.
Yes. On top of everything that I heard, it's wonderful. It's so refreshing, the history and geography and everything. And the connection of Darya Kabul and Darya Parmon. And I can imagine how beautiful it could be. And talking about using the river, I'm thinking and I'm trying to work on this project. I was to connect this area to the other side. I was thinking to use like water taxi,
Yeah.
water
Yeah.
taxi to make the ride pleasant and also adventurous. And also, I think it's less traffic. And for different reason, I was thinking to use this darya and this water to connect this side, the neighborhood, to this place, and this from here to Babur.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
may I
Yes, John, go ahead.
سلام به همه اولتر
Salam.
یزران و اختر آمدم ببخشین بسیار علی جان یک پرزنتیشن بسیار جالب امیر شما تهیه کردین واقعا بیشتر امیر جان گفتن که برایشان بسیار انفورماتیو است خوب است که عجیبات مرا نگوین که کجا چی در کجای کابل است اون کلش تشریح کردن اینا متاسفانه که لوکیشن BAGH-E-BABUR از نگاه اکسسیبیلیتی بسیار لیمیتد است. یک سرک بسیار خرد گذرگاه و چلستون تا اونجا است که از پیشوی BAGH-E-BABUR تیر میشه و پشت سرش دریاست. یک پل بسیار خرد است که از اون سابقا موتر تیر نمیشد، حالا تیر میشه ولی بسیار کنجستد است. اکسسیبیلیتی بسیار لیمیت داره امی ایریایی که پروژه از این هست. آیدیای استفاده از آو، کانال، کشتی، وادر تاکسی، آیدیایش بهترین آیدیاست، اما پرکتیکالیتیش من فکر نکنم که پرکتیکال باشه، به خاطر از که نظر به اقلیم کابل و امی منطقه که تا جایی که ما به یاد دارم و میالام هستی دخترها میتونن بگوین، اکثر وقتا این دریا آبش بسیار کم است که مردم از پای تیر میشه. So basically یک دریا است ولی دریای خشک است. نامش دریای چمچمست است، اما تنها در وقتای سیل این چمچمست میشه، دیگه وقتا نمیشه. همون قسمی که میدی جان گفتن کلش کثافات و چی و پاک میشه، ولی او قدر نیست که همین موضوعات کشتی و ایره اکامودیت کنه. سو امیرم در نظر بگیرین شما در قسمت دیزاینتان، میتونین که به حیث لندسکیپ استفاده کنین، به حیث یک فلات پلین استفاده کنین دریا را، اما او قدر او نداره که ما شما از او کشتی بگیریم. یا چیز دیگه که من مثلا میتونه که یک کارت کیبل باشه که از این طرف دریا او طرف دریا برن، ولی او قدر چیزی نیست که ترافل کنن در سر او. این پوینت ما میخواستم. و خود موقعیت از این باغ استاد میرنگیز در بغل یک دو کوست، در دو طرفش کوست و دو طرفش باز است، دو طرفش کوست، یعنی این المنت هایی که مثلا تپه مرنجان و پارک زرنگار و چیزها را که شما میبینین در پیشروی زو یک کلان کوست، اکسسیبیلیتیش بازم اونمو یک سرک گذرگاه کلستون است که وام دو لین سرک است، یک لین رفت یک لین آمد. امکانات کلان شدنش هم بسیار لیمیتد است به خاطر که این طرف کوست و طرف دریاست. اینه میره من فقط خواستم شیر کنم برشون.
Tashakkur, Moinjan. I just wanted to, that was really an eye-opening discussion you started. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you in terms of the proposal or thinking of using the river. Urban planners or urban designers and architects have always been in the forefront of cleaning the city. So what would happen as a lesson for students to start become an active voice to say, yes, there are these problems. The river is polluted. The river is full of silt. The river is all these problems. And you're right, they probably won't be able to travel on a little boat, river boats. Perhaps they can travel in some limited months that they have water there. So that's one issue. The other issue is that I would express students' interest that if they're thinking about it, they are becoming the steward of the environment. Not necessarily they have to implement it. You're right. It is the challenge is there that it'll be almost impossible right now. But as a designer, as an architect, as a caretaker of the environment, the architecture students should become more vocal the way they are now. And they have to really push that. That's the only way that they can start really communicating with the government, with the owners, with the caretakers, to start taking care of this environment, this poor river, which is really the lifeline of the city. And it has always been neglected. It's always been misused, has always been under the pressure of the society. Yeah, I agree with you that the opportunity is not there yet, but I wouldn't stop students from imagining this. I really wouldn't. I would even encourage them to talk about it, talk about the possibilities. That's all.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, as far as pollution, cleaning up the river, you're absolutely right. But there are other elements like the quantity of water that is not under control of anybody. So this by nature, this is a dry river. So I myself, when I designed something, we did a project on Bomyon. You were a part of that. I mean, it's great to have ideas, but at the end, this project is probably will be kept in Sharwale or Wazarat Faidama for future building possibility of construction. And I always want to be practical with ideas, but practical. So I don't see any practicality to imagine full of water and there is no water. That is my point, that they have to imagine this is an empty river. Occasionally they will fill, but a lot of months there is no water. So they can come up with alternatives. But yeah, that was basically my argument. Thank you.
Great, thanks.
I also see this as a kind of aside from an architectural project, this is an urban planning project as well. Because as a designer, you need to find solutions for these issues that we have existing in Kabul city. So as a let's say as a designer, as an urban planner, as somebody that is trying and improve, we need to find solutions as designers. So I don't want these girls to limit their thought process. Okay, we can do this. Because we can do this. Anything is possible with design and architecture. You see cities around the world, how they thrive.
Yeah.
There are man-made lakes, there are man-made rivers, there are a lot of things.
Yeah.
I
think this is an interesting discussion. I hope students can chip in if they want to say something. Our intention, my goal at least as an educator, is to broaden their thinking. There was a case in Texas. There's a river that was had a very sick settlement, and the whole city, actually the developer wanted to cover it and make it into parking lot. All of a sudden, the city, including the architects in Texas, they were up in arms saying, no, we're not going to allow this. So what they did, they cleaned it up. Now it's used as a public place with restaurants on the both side, and there are little boats that people can take tours. So yes, there are realities. Moinjon is absolutely right. I agree with you. I know you're very practical. You're a practitioner, and I respect that. But from an education perspective, and I think it would be nice the students' mind become much more broad and more critical. We cannot accept the so-called status quo. We cannot accept the fact that the river is dry and dirty. We cannot. So what is the alternative? To voice it, to work with the government, work with the planners, to see what they can come up with. And I think architects and planners have been in the forefront of this in every country. Yes, Tubojan.
Maybe a way to walk, just step stone and just walk through the river, even if we could wet our feet, it's going to have a pleasant feeling. Or like the Highland Park in Chelsea, Manhattan, it was a rail track, and they wanted to destroy it and cut it down. But the governor came up with this idea to use it. And now it's the most beautiful place in New York. And it's evolved, and so many businesses, so many high-rise, residentials has been around it. So, and I think the idea of when there's water, use a kayak or canoe or taxi, water taxi, and when there's not, let's walk, do something so we could
that's a good idea.
Yeah, that is a very nice idea, Tubajan. I have seen this in Turkey, in Iran, and also there is a park. Probably Merengiz John knows that, Big Sur.
Big Sur, yeah.
in Monterey, in Carmel actually. که مردم میرن برای واک باز اینا در سر دریا بسیار شلو دریای شلوست باز اینا میز و چوکی را ماندن مردم میرن پایه خدا لچ میکنن میشینن پایه خدا یخ میکنن و نان هم میخورن یک چیز درینک چای و whatever هر چی که باشه yeah that is most practical to me and yeah of course you can build a dam there to create water but does it work تو برای شما برای یک of course که دخترها خوب است که یعنی open mind داشته باشن چیزهای مختلفه create کنن در این طرف اما argument من بود که اگر practical باشه همیاله که تو باجان گفتن this is more practical than building a dam just to create water there and it's hard to do that for this small project putting a dam on Kabul River I don't think that's feasible.
Omanjor, I understand you're coming from a very practical side, and that is my argument. Though I agree with you, but most of the wonderful projects that are sustainable, they're environmentally sustainable projects, are based on the community engagement. The problem in Kabul is, in Afghanistan, that river has been ignored, misused for eons. And I hold us responsible as the community members, as architects, as planners, to engage with the government and force the government to make sure it's kept clean. Other nations, they take pride in water. They respect water. So yes, that exists. But when do we start voice this? And the only way in time is now that the students really voice this and make it public, that they have to take care of this environment. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. میریجان بسیار پوینت امی دیسکشن ما کامنت ها اینا کلش آموزشی است خب این چالش است امی ایده شما یا میرنگ جان که they should come up with idea of what to do ما دریا داریم او نداریم ولی اینمی خودش یک چالش است که شما چطور میتونین که از اینمی دریا keeping the integrity of the دریا of the river که امور به عکس دریا شما ببینین و استفاده کنین با وجود که هم نداره چطور میتونین امور شما مقبولتر بسازین جالبتر بسازین که پروژهتان و this is a part of challenges
but also you realize Omanjan, you realize that unfortunately in our society I remember I was born there we as individuals are really not active about our environment. People misuse the environment, the roads, the rivers, the sidewalks, the mountains. And I think it's a general education and the only way that awareness can start fermenting is that when students in colleges and universities start voicing about this issue. I know it's not practical. I know it's not achievable right now. But at some point, people have to become more active and more open-minded about their environment. I've seen some images of how the wonderful place under the bridge has been used by drug addicts. And there are images, horrible. So yes, how do we deal with it? How do we deal with it? And this is what our task is as educators, to educate students. It's not just they're learning architecture, but they also have to become more voiceful about their environment.
ما امی سایت واقعا یک سایت بسیار جالب یافتیم و دکترها شما یعنی اینقدر آپشن ها دارین که از این بسیار به شکلهای جالب استفاده کنیم مثلا یکی از چیزهایی که ما او رو سرش فکر میکردم که یک کارت کیبل شما پروپوز کنیم او بسیار جای کم هم میگیره از خود اینمی مرکز سنتر تا سر کوه توپ ما میگفتیم کوه توپ که در ساعتش یک دونه توپ است که ما چاشتکی او را فایر میکردن و همون ساعت 12 بجه چاشت ما و اونم یک توپ فایر میشد که کل کابل خبر میشد که اینا چاش شده. یا در وقت رمضان ها در وقت افطار از اونجا فایر میکردن که یعنی روزایتان رو بشکنن، و در وقت سحر از اونجا فایر میکردن کل کابل صدای از اون میشنید که یعنی دیگه نان نخورین بس است. و او یک جای بسیار یک جای تاریخی است. دمو کو یک جای دیگه است که در بغل از اون کو به نام یحتان یاد میکردن که مثل یک پای بسیار کلان سنگی است که ما خودم رفتیم در بود تام شدیم، بالا شدنش بسیار برای ما چالش بود. اما بسیار جایی است که شما مثلا که کارت کیبل در سر کو شما وصل کنین. خود کارت کیبل تا قسمت آخر باغ بابر ببرین که مردم در زیر اون پیاده برن، شما در سر مثل که یک سیکی ریزورت که شما مثلا در چوکیک میشینین و آستا آستا بالا میشه، یعنی کل کابل از اونجا معلوم میشه. یعنی شما این سایتتان برای بسیار اپورتونیتی های هست که شما میتونین در این پروپوز کنین. گفته میره انگلیزیان پشت پیسه رای نزنین، it's just an idea. شما آیدیایتان اپارتین ولی چیزایی که امکاناتش باشه دیگه. ما شخص خودم این سایت بسیار چیز جالب دیدیم.
تشکر جانم. Okay, girls, I think you heard enough, and if you have any comments, please do. Adia John,